What if I told you that every single night, your body has a window, a precise biological window, where it can flood your system with one of the most powerful anti-aging hormones ever discovered? A hormone that rebuilds your muscles while you sleep. A hormone that burns fat from your belly without a single minute of exercise. A hormone that repairs your joints, sharpens your mind, and makes you feel 10 years younger when you wake up. And what if I told you that after the age of 55, most people are completely missing that window, not because of a disease, not because of genetics, but because of 3 completely fixable mistakes they make every single evening before bed. You can be eating right, you can be exercising, you can even be taking supplements. But if you are making these bedtime mistakes, your growth hormone levels are collapsing and your body is quietly aging faster than it ever should. Now I know what you might be thinking. Growth hormone, isn't that something for athletes or bodybuilders? No, absolutely not. Growth hormone is something your body makes naturally. It is your internal repair crew, and the secret to activating it is not a prescription. It is not expensive. In fact, it starts tonight in your own bedroom. Stay with me because in just a moment, I am going to reveal the exact bedtime protocol that triggers a natural growth hormone surge after 55. 2 nutrients, 1 powerful evening habit, and 1 thing you must stop doing before 9 p.m. if you ever want to feel strong, lean, and energized again. Welcome back. If you are new here, this channel is dedicated to one mission, giving you real, practical, science-backed information that helps you live stronger, longer, and healthier. Today we are going deep into something that affects every single person watching this over the age of 55. We are talking about growth hormone, what it does, why yours is likely running low, and exactly what you can do starting tonight to bring it back. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed that somewhere after 50 things started to shift? The muscle that used to come easily started disappearing. The fat around your midsection started holding on no matter what you did. You started waking up stiff. Recovery after a walk or a workout that used to take 1 day now takes 3. You feel tired even after a full night's sleep. Most people blame this on age. Their doctor might say, well, this is just what happens. And they accept it. They buy a stronger coffee. They take an afternoon nap. They tell themselves this is just life after 55. But here is the truth that most people are never told. A significant part of what you are experiencing is not inevitable aging. It is a growth hormone collapse, and it started quietly in your 30s, accelerated in your 40s, and by the time you reached 55, your growth hormone levels could be as low as 1/3 of what they were in your prime. Let me tell you about Raymond. Raymond is 61 years old, a retired school administrator from Ohio. He came to his physician complaining of fatigue, stubborn belly fat, poor sleep, and the kind of joint stiffness that made him dread getting out of bed every morning. His diet was reasonable. He walked 3 times a week. He was not doing anything dramatically wrong. But when his hormone panel came back, his growth hormone activity was barely registering. His doctor told him something that changed everything. He said, Raymond, your body is still capable of producing growth hormone. The problem is your lifestyle has stopped sending the signal. That is the piece most people are missing. Your body can still produce this hormone. The biological machinery is still there, but you have to send the right signal, and most of what we do in the evening is sending the exact wrong signal. You have been told that aging means decline, but the truth is, for many people, the decline is not from aging alone. It is from unknowingly suppressing the one hormone that could reverse much of it. Here is what your body does when you sleep, or more accurately, what it is supposed to do. Within the first 90 minutes of deep sleep, your pituitary gland, a tiny pea-sized structure at the base of your brain, releases the largest single pulse of growth hormone your body produces all day. This is called the nocturnal growth hormone surge. It is during this window that your body begins repairing muscle fibers, reducing inflammation, metabolizing fat stores, and essentially rebuilding you from the inside out. In a healthy young adult, this surge is powerful. It is why young people recover faster, sleep harder, and wake up feeling genuinely restored. But research published in leading endocrinology journals has shown that by age 55 to 65, this nocturnal pulse can decline by as much as 75% compared to younger adults. 75%. That is not a minor dip. That is your body losing most of its overnight repair capacity. Now here is where it gets important. Scientists studying this decline found something fascinating. A portion of this decline is not purely hormonal, it is behavioral. Specific nighttime habits were directly suppressing the pituitary's ability to fire that growth hormone pulse. 3 of them in particular kept showing up across studies. The first is elevated insulin at night. When your blood sugar is high, which happens after an evening snack, a late dinner, or even a glass of fruit juice before bed, insulin rises, and insulin directly blocks growth hormone release. Your pituitary literally cannot fire that pulse in an insulin-rich environment. The second is poor sleep architecture. Growth hormone is tied specifically to deep, slow-wave sleep, the kind your brain produces in the early hours of the night. Anything that disrupts that deep sleep, alcohol, blue light, late-night screen time, even a room that is too warm, cuts the hormone pulse short before it can complete its full cycle. And the third, which almost nobody talks about, is nutrient deficiency at the cellular level. Two specific nutrients act as cofactors for growth hormone synthesis and release. Without adequate levels of these nutrients, even a perfect night's sleep will not produce an optimal hormone surge. And after 55, the body's ability to absorb and retain both of these nutrients drops significantly. This is the hidden truth. Your body wants to repair itself every night. The biology is still there. But evening habits and nutrient gaps are pulling the plug before the process can even begin. So what does the bedtime growth hormone protocol actually look like? Let me walk you through it, and I want to be specific because timing matters here more than most people realize. The first nutrient, magnesium glycinate. Magnesium is one of the most deficient minerals in adults over 50, and it is directly involved in more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the ones that regulate deep sleep and pituitary function. But not all magnesium is equal. The form matters enormously. Magnesium glycinate is the form that crosses into the brain most effectively. It calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol, your stress hormone, and prepares the body to enter slow-wave sleep, which is the very sleep stage where growth hormone is released. A study from a European Journal of Endocrinology found that magnesium supplementation in older adults significantly improved sleep quality and was associated with measurable increases in IGF-1, the key marker that reflects growth hormone activity in your body. The correct approach is to take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate approximately 45 minutes before bed, not with food, not with other supplements, on its own with a glass of water. This allows it to reach the brain at peak concentration during that first deep sleep cycle. The most common mistake people make is taking magnesium oxide, the cheap, poorly absorbed form found in many drugstore supplements. It does almost nothing for sleep or hormone support. Check your label tonight. Let me tell you about Patricia, a 58-year-old woman who had been waking up 2 or 3 times a night for nearly 4 years. She tried everything: melatonin, herbal teas, even prescription sleep aids. When she switched to magnesium glycinate at 350 milligrams before bed, within 2 weeks she reported sleeping through the night for the first time in years. 6 weeks later, her energy levels had shifted so dramatically that her husband noticed before she did. The second nutrient, vitamin D3 with K2. Here is something that surprises most people. Vitamin D is not just a bone vitamin. It is a hormone precursor, meaning your body uses it to manufacture and regulate multiple hormones, including the pathways connected to growth hormone activity. Deficiency in vitamin D is now linked to reduced pituitary responsiveness, meaning your gland becomes less sensitive and less reactive even when given the right signals. After 55, the skin produces vitamin D from sunlight at roughly half the efficiency it did at 30. And most people in northern climates or those who spend most of their time indoors are functionally deficient, even if they think they are getting enough. The key is combining D3 with K2. Vitamin K2 is the traffic controller that ensures the calcium mobilized by vitamin D goes into your bones and not into your arteries or soft tissues. These two should never be taken apart. Take 2,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 combined with at least 100 micrograms of K2, specifically the MK7 form, in the early evening with a small amount of fat since D3 is fat-soluble. Avocado, a handful of nuts, or a teaspoon of olive oil all work perfectly. A 2021 research review found that adults with optimal vitamin D levels had significantly better anabolic hormone profiles, meaning their bodies were maintaining a more youthful hormonal environment overall, including better growth hormone response during sleep. Robert was a 63-year-old retired contractor who had been experiencing unexplained muscle weakness and mental fog. When tested, his vitamin D level was critically low at 18 ng/ml, far below the optimal range of 50 to 70. After 3 months on D3 and K2, his levels climbed to 62. He described the change as getting a part of himself back that he thought was gone. The evening habit, the fasting window. This is the piece that ties everything together, and it may be the most impactful of all. If you eat your last meal or snack within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, your insulin levels are still elevated when your head hits the pillow, and as we discussed, elevated insulin suppresses that growth hormone pulse directly. The protocol is simple. Finish eating by 7 p.m. or at minimum no later than 3 hours before bed. Allow your body to enter a fasted state before sleep. During this window, your blood sugar drops, insulin falls, and the pituitary gland is free to fire its repair signal without interference. This single change, simply moving your last meal earlier, has been shown in clinical literature to increase nocturnal growth hormone release by a measurable and significant margin. It costs nothing. It requires no supplements, and yet it may be the most powerful thing you do all week for your hormonal health. Now let me be direct with you, because this is where most people go wrong and where all the good work gets undone. Stop drinking alcohol within 3 hours of bed. This is one that many people in the over 55 age group do without thinking: a glass of wine with dinner, a nightcap to wind down. But alcohol is one of the most potent suppressors of slow-wave sleep ever studied. It may make you feel sleepy, but it fragments the deep sleep stages entirely, cutting your growth hormone pulse before it can complete. If you're serious about your hormonal health, evening alcohol has to go. Stop using your phone or tablet in bed. Blue light emitted from screens suppresses melatonin, and melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. It works in concert with growth hormone during the overnight repair cycle. Without melatonin properly rising in the evening, the entire hormonal cascade is disrupted. Power your screens down at least 1 hour before bed. This is not optional. This is biological. Stop taking calcium supplements at night. Many people in this age group take calcium before bed because they have heard it is good for bones. But high-dose calcium at night can interfere with magnesium absorption, specifically the magnesium glycinate you are now taking for sleep and growth hormone support. Take your calcium in the morning. Reserve the evening for magnesium, D3, and K2. These two supplement windows should not overlap. Let me bring this all together for you. After the age of 55, your body's natural growth hormone production has declined significantly, but it has not stopped. Your pituitary gland is still capable of releasing a powerful overnight repair pulse every single night. The problem is that most people are unknowingly blocking that pulse with elevated evening insulin, poor sleep architecture, and nutrient deficiencies that are entirely correctable. The bedtime protocol we covered today is this. Finish your last meal at least 3 hours before bed. Take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 45 minutes before sleep. Take 2,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 combined with K2 in the early evening with a small fat source. Eliminate alcohol and screens in the final hour before bed. And stop taking calcium at night, move it to the morning. These are not complicated steps, but done consistently, they create the conditions your body needs to do what it has been trying to do all along: repair you, restore you, and keep you strong. Here is your bonus tip for today. Consider sleeping in a slightly cooler room between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Research has shown that a cooler core body temperature during the early sleep cycle is associated with deeper slow-wave sleep and a stronger growth hormone response. Something as simple as adjusting your thermostat or using lighter bedding could meaningfully impact your overnight recovery. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these steps were you already doing, and which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Your question or experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if this video helped you, please share it with someone over 55 who you care about. You might just change how they feel every single morning. Coming up next, and you do not want to miss this one, we are going to talk about the silent mineral that 80% of people over 60 are dangerously deficient in. It is not calcium. It is not iron. It is something your doctor almost never tests for, and its deficiency has been directly linked to heart failure, cognitive decline, and sudden muscle weakness. I will reveal exactly what it is, how to know if you have it, and how to fix it fast. That video drops very soon. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Take care of yourself. Your body is worth fighting for.